Hello, everyone. Hope that you are well. Hope that you're having a nice day, whether the sunshine is shining hotly upon you as it is over here, or maybe a cool wind, a cool breeze is coming at you from a coast. Maybe you're landlocked, but that's okay. You got something too to look forward to. For example, perhaps a little black country new road we're checking out today. We're listening to the track Athens, France. This is coming off of their debut studio album for the first time, quite literally, which was released in 2021. We're checking this out because this was requested, suggested, and sponsored by Caden. So Caden, thank you so much for the support and for the request. I truly appreciate that. We've listened to just a little bit from the band quite a while back, and so it's nice to return to them here with this particular track. Let's go ahead and dive on into it. We can discuss it a little bit after. And here. Is there an Athens, France? I guess that's a good question to ask before we dive into it. Let's see if there's actually an Athens, France. I mean, nothing's coming up originally. Nothing's coming up. Nothing's coming up that I see. So maybe not literally. Okay, here we go. Ba-bing. It didn't play. There we go. The drumming. Yeah, just that little tail end fill that he throws in on the end of all the lines.
She flies to Paris, France. I come down into her childhood bed and write the words I'll one day wish that I had never said. Now all that I became must die before the foreign thread. The cursed vultures feed, spread the seed of daily bread. I guess I found out what it's like.
The drumming is the killer here.
Oh, I am very young, but I am working on the glow up. Girl in every room, main line to the UE Bloom. They ask me, why don't you sing with an English accent? Well, I guess it's too late to change it now. In the rural American town, fairground, I go round and I go round. It's a great wide gulf between intentions and what ground met me. I check my phone, make the sound like theme from failure, performed for just you, like the new road built out of black country ground. I think she's still waiting there for us, somewhere underneath what we built to keep the waters clean. It's a one-size-fits-all hardcore cyber fetish, early naughty zine. She sells matcha shots to pay for printing costs in a PR team. She's recently enlightened, and for some reason that phases me. Won't give up, too soft to touch, and how hard could it really
I like how the pause in this section kind of had foreshadowed the way that the jazz section there was. How the drums transition into this, to a great swing of a groove. There's a few minutes in this track that I think are brilliant, and that's the middle section. The quiet, jazzy tasting in the dark that's happening in here.
like theme from failure?
This
Home for just you.
is out of this world. I thought that that section was just phenomenal to listen to. I thought that it was like such a pleasure, and too, the way that it transitioned to that, because it starts off in kind of, in my opinion, what I would say is kind of like an indie rock kind of sound. Of course, much slower in a sense, but drums aside. But like, it has a certain move. But when it comes down to this, I thought that this was great, and it was really cool how they capture these different directions in the music, but keeping it flowing in a very concerted and focused way. In that, like, this is gonna sound maybe a little pretentious, but in the way that the song feels like a narrative. It feels like it has a narrative, and there's a strength to that. You know, sometimes when you listen to, I'm gonna say like a generic song, you know, verse, chorus, it's just a song. Like, okay. But this feels like a story. This feels like a journey of sorts, and like it takes us from certain emotions, certain directions, into further on from there. So I really like that aspect of the track, and you know how we get all of that clearly represented in this track. Can I say, without a doubt, Charlie Wayne on the drums. Charlie Wayne's drumming, I love the start of this track and how it starts off with a relatively simple groove in the mainstay of it, but then on the tail end of every single bar that he would play, he would deepen the groove in some capacity, add in a fill, like just something to kind of like a lighter, just sparking. And you're waiting for the track to become inflamed. You're waiting for it to be engulfed in the passion of his fires. And I like how eventually we do get that. His drumming is just sensational in every single respect. I mean, when it first began, and we got the little fill on the end of the meter when he kind of drops a few extra kicks in there, I already knew we were in for something. This has kind of like a 90s kind of feel to it. I don't know why. Like, even just like little things like that. There's just something about it. I want to hear the next one. See, the little space at the end, it always allows him a moment to play. Just like in any kind of song, but my mind just goes to jazz. Like, you know, there's parts in the jazz that feels like it's hinting towards the drummer beginning to do a solo. And we don't get a solo in here, but you still get that kind of same feel where you feel hints like, oh, he's building up into something. And his building up into something isn't necessarily a vertical takeoff, but it's like a horizontal take, especially, like I said, with the change in the music halfway through, which I think is fantastic. You have the saxophone here performed by Lewis Evans, some violin, George Ellery, and then some really nice keys that are super, 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 super quiet. And in the back, you wouldn't even notice that they're there, but you would miss them if they weren't there. And that's going to be performed by May Kershaw. And then almost like a math rocky kind of guitar sound on top of a lot of this. And then those lead vocals from Isaac Wood, who's also handling lead guitar. Now, I don't really care too much for the vocals in the verse in this part. They're kind of placid. They just kind of are there, you know. And it's not really singing. It's just kind of speaking, which sometimes can work, sometimes doesn't. I think for their sound, it works. I just don't care for that, if that makes sense, right? But I will say that I think it works better in the middle / towards the end of the track when things are a little bit lower. In this, I think the subtlety in not only his vocals, the kind of conversational, normal tone that he's speaking in, I think that works really well with the atmosphere that's being created there. But I didn't care for it in like the beginning of the track. And it did build up to a head, of course, as the music gets into its final breakdown and outro there, which I preferred, but I didn't really care for the beginning. That's just me. And I do like how after the jazzy section, it came back to this, where it kind of had swung from in the beginning there. And then they just go off from there in a really swell groove that just kind of gently leads us off the path of this track. So yeah, this is a track that I can appreciate, and I like the middle section a lot. I love that section. That little pause and that little hesitance is really nice. But it doesn't click for me in totality, if I'm being 100% honest, you know? And I would like to be 100% honest, if you don't mind. Let's look at the lyrics here. She flies to Paris, France. I come down in her childhood bed and write the words I'll one day wish that I never said. Now all that I became must die before the form thread. The cursed vultures feed and spread the seeded daily bread. And I guess I found out what it's like. Oh, but I'm very young, but I'm working on the glow up. He's in his glow up era. I'm the richest girl in every room, mainline to the UE boom. They ask me, why don't you sing with an English accent? Well, I guess it's too late to change it now. In the rural American town fairground, I go round and I go round. I feel like in reading the lyrics and kind of going through it, my first impression is he feels out of place. He doesn't feel like he quite belongs, and he took an effort to try and belong, but it's not working out. It's a great wide gulf between intentions and what ground met me. I check my phone and make the sound like theme from failure performed for just you. Like the new road built out of black country ground. There you go. I've learned so little from all I lost in 2018. I think she's still waiting there for us somewhere underneath what we built to keep the waters clean. It's a one-size-fits-all hardcore cyber fetish early naughty zine. She sells matcha shots to pay for printing costs and a PR team. And of course, it could be a childhood relationship, a childhood friend that, they just went their separate ways. And perhaps he feels stuck and maybe feels that she's moved on, perhaps, in his opinion, progressed in her life, but maybe he doesn't feel he has. She's recently enlightened, and for some reason that phases me. It won't give up, too soft to touch, how hard could it really be? Let's see if there's anything on this track here. That's what I kind of get out of it. Let's see. Science Fair, Athens, France. Okay, I guess revised version. The revised version of Athens, France contains substantial lyrical and stylistic revisions compared to its original version. The album version features a more cohesive arrangement, combining post-punk and post-hardcore influences with sweeping strings and jazz-inflected coda. The track is characterized by a restrained drumming, winding bass line, and warm harmonically rich outro. Wood rewrote several lines, omitting sexually explicit content, which the band seemingly no longer felt comfortable discussing. I like that. I like a band that's not afraid to change. The reworking underscores the band's evolving perspective on themes of fame, regret, and identity. So I kind of get that. Perhaps, like I said, he perhaps doesn't feel like he quite belongs, not knowing who he is, a little regret from the past, and I can definitely see that. I think that came through pretty nicely in the lyrics there, in the delivery even if I'm taking all that context into thought, then those themes come through really great in not only the lyrics, but now it makes more sense in his delivery, because I think that you do get that kind of emotion, that kind of numbful regrets and, man, why didn't I do this? And, those thoughts that eat away at you, and those regrets that just tear away at you over and over again. And I think that he enunciates that really nicely in his delivery. That doesn't change my thoughts, but I think that it adds context to the music as well. You can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I appreciate you all being here. Caden, thank you so much for the request as well. I appreciate that. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you have a lovely one out there. And I'll see you later. Bye, guys.